The Savior taught, "And blessed are all the pure in heart, for they shall see God." The promises of the gospel are uplifting and ennobling, even exalting. We receive those promises by covenants which are conditioned on our living lives of purity and morality. When we live right and seek to purify our hearts, we draw closer to God and to the Spirit. The condition of our heart determines how much evidence of divinity we see in the world now and qualifies us for the eventual realization of the promise that the pure shall see God.
Lately, I've been thinking a lot about heart conditions. My youngest daughter, Harper, was born with a ventricular septal defect. There's a hole between the two lower chambers of her heart, which over-oxygenates her blood. She spends most of her energy just breathing. I know. When you put your hand to her chest, you don't feel a healthy thump-thump. Instead, it's a softened whoosh-whoosh. It's liquidy and alarming, a palpable reminder of how broken she is. Alright, well done. Well done. Good job. Good job.
So many questions on my mind.
She's seen a brigade of specialists here at the University of Iowa Hospital, where even the trees look like arteries. Honestly, I've lost track of the one-offs, the lab coat crew armed with tests and conjecture, who give her the once-over and give us a shrug. For months it was apparent something was wrong with her, but no one could tell us what. The doctors she sees regularly include, but are not limited to, a pediatrician, a cardiologist, an otolaryngologist, a speech pathologist, a neurologist, a physical therapist, a speech therapist, and an occupational therapist. She comes to our apartment. It's all become so normative in our house that when PJ, my middle child, plays with her dolls, instead of bottle feeding them or rocking them to sleep, she pretends to take them to the hospital. I've been thinking a lot about heart conditions, Harper's and mine. Though it must be said, my own heart malfunctions in a way very different from my daughter's. Where she lacks tissue, I lack empathy, and more importantly, belief, faith. I was raised in the Mormon church, and as of this moment, I still attend meetings every Sunday. Still teach 5-year-olds in Sunday school how to make right choices, how to pray, how to be reverent. I listen to my bishop bear witness to the truthfulness of the Book of Mormon. I hear other members testify that Joseph Smith was a prophet, that he saw God the Father and Jesus Christ. But I don't believe any of it. Not for months now. This is a problem. Faithful Mormons are married in temples, buildings that are far more sacred than workaday meeting houses. And they're married for time and all eternity. The temple ritual is both more and less elaborate than a secular ceremony, with special covenants the couple make not only to each other but to God. And even once the ceremony takes place, an eternal marriage is not guaranteed in the hereafter. It must be earned through faithfully keeping the covenants one makes before and during the sealing ceremony. Key to those covenants is staying true to the faith. Before I go on, I have to bring up a basic semantic problem. I'm not sure how to refer to the Mormons or the church. Leaving the church is a complex, difficult process that takes several meetings with many different church leaders, and it's a process I'm in no hurry to undergo. So technically, I'm still part of the church, but only in that my name still lives on the church's meticulously kept records. The problem then is this. When referring to the Mormons, do I use we or they?
Ugh, start over. If I didn't have you, life would be blue. I'd be Doctor Who without the TARDIS.
When talking to friends who are not parents, I find it hard to convey how much pleasure I take from raising my children. I feel an unspoken cultural pressure, this weird sense that I'm not allowed to enjoy my kids, that would be self-indulgent, that talking about the fun we have rather than the fights and the struggles is somehow narcissistic, or at the very least saccharine and hallmarky. I can't deny, though, that by abandoning my faith, I've rearranged the architecture of my family. I'm not sure yet in what way or what the long-term consequences will be, but things are different. In any religion, a ritual is an external act meant to signify internal change. As we enact our rituals, like family dinners, bedtime, book time, something feels off. Maybe not to them, but definitely to me. These rituals are now both less and more. They retain the external, but the internal feels empty.
And I definitely still live with my mom. Ever since I met you,
You make me work harder than any of your other parents. All year long, I wear my pills out. I'm not going to do this.
You're life-changing, electric, and magnetic fields.
I even work on holidays. I have to color all the Santas at Christmas and all the hearts on Valentine's Day. I need a rest. Friend. Red cream. You want me to read fast? You're not gonna alright, listen, I was gonna your favorite type of grapes, dragons, what has to make me crazy, there's so much of my gorgeous color goes outside the lines. If you don't start coloring inside the lines soon, I'm gonna completely lose it. You're a very neat friend. Purple crap.
Don't read that. Read slow. Read that.
I'm tired of being called light brown or dark tan because I'm an alien. I'm patient, I'm proud.
Read slow.
I'm gonna read normal.
As we attend church services and worship together, we strengthen each other. We are renewed by our association with friends and family. Our faith is strengthened as we study the scriptures and learn more about the restored gospel. One might ask why we have 3 separate meetings on Sunday and why the need for each. Let's briefly look at these 3 Sacrament meeting provides the opportunity to participate in the ordinance of the sacrament. We renew our covenant. Sunday school allows us to teach one another the doctrine of the kingdom, that all might be edified and rejoice together. Priesthood meetings are a time for men and young men to learn their duty and to be instructed more. And Relief Society meeting provides the women of the church an opportunity to increase their faith, strengthen their families and homes, and help.
I should make clear, I'm not angry at the church or anyone who chooses to attend. I'm not leaving because I feel offended or wronged. I still appreciate the power of ritual, of communal acts we allow to become sacred. In Mormon congregations, every newborn baby is blessed and given a name by her father. He takes her in his arms to the front of the chapel, where other priesthood holders, friends, and family gather close, each cradling her with one hand. It happened at our church last week. Custom dictates we close our eyes and bow our heads during the blessing, but I couldn't stop watching the knot of men, all pressed together, converging in their love of this child they barely knew, lifting her up in a way she couldn't understand. I see the goodness in this. I've blessed and named my own children. But these things can't fix what's wrong with me. They can't patch the gap in me, the doubt, the disbelief. So, Max, do you believe in God?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why?
It's because if God wasn't real, then he wouldn't create Earth. He wouldn't be able to create us. Do you believe in God?
I don't know. I really don't know. That's totally making it in.
No.
So, I want to start by asking what's happening tomorrow.
We're going to the cath lab to... Where am I looking?
Me.
Okay. We're going to do a cardiac catheterization.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to make an incision in her leg and go up through her veins into her heart to check out some oxygen levels and blood pressure levels and see what's going on, to see if they can find something there that they didn't see in her echo.
They're looking at her lungs too, aren't they?
Correct. I'm nervous about tomorrow.
Me too. Why are you nervous? I mean, we've looked at statistics, we've studied up. I mean, there's less than 1% chance of complications.
For the surgery, the anesthesia, I'm not sure that's true. She's so tiny,
She's very small.
so the anesthesia scares me.
Okay. That's fair.
And I also have this irrational fear that if something was going to go wrong, it would be with my baby. I feel like that's my luck.
Really?
Yeah.
What makes you feel that way?
I don't know. Irrational fears.
I guess that's what makes them irrational.
Bill's gonna be your nurse over there.
Rookie tells me about Sparta, where any child born with a defect was thrown off a cliff. Are we going to go back to that?
This is my friend Lael. He's a neurologist, and he has strong opinions about pretty much everything, but most especially about how medical resources should be allocated.
As a society, it would not make any sense investing more money than a single person, on average, would produce in their lifetime to create a situation where someone who would die now lives. So it doesn't make sense financially to invest more money than that person would likely ever produce.
Sure, but I mean, hearing you say that, it occurs to me, humans are more than just dollars.
That's why I always have these two perspectives on this. And every time I look at these ethical issues, I end up saying there is no resolution to this because they're evaluating things at such fundamentally different viewpoints. Is it worth investing X amount of money into a child in order to allow that child to grow up healthy?
Mm-hmm.
That's the question.
Yeah.
And with children, I think it's a lot easier to argue that they're worth it than with elderly. So there's decades of potential in Harper. There's a whole lifetime ahead of her. And if we can get her through this period where she's struggling with her heart, she could lead a very long and productive life and contribute to society. She might invent something amazing. She might be a political leader. Who knows? most likely she'll just be a human like the rest of us.
Yeah, I mean, if she doesn't do amazing things...
Doesn't matter. She's still contributing to society, being productive and being part of the community, enriching our lives, making them hard, making them easy, doing things that humans do. And I think that giving a child the opportunity to do that is worth investing a lot into.
Do you remember in the New Testament when Jesus walks on water in the middle of a storm? Everyone knows that part, but few remember that Peter tried to join him. He hopped over the side of the boat and took a few tentative steps and seemed to be doing okay. But then the storm broke his concentration, and he fell. As the swells overtook him, he cried out, "Master, save me."
Undoubtedly, with some sadness, the master over every problem and fear, he who is the solution to every discouragement and disappointment, stretched out his hand and grasped the drowning disciple with the gentle rebuke, "O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt?"
Wherefore didst thou doubt? A gentle rebuke for failing to walk on water? Fuck you.
Always around in front of the hour. And probably after that, she probably will start waking up.
If my doubt is a flaw, then where's my surgeon? Where's the spirit doctor gassing me into oblivion, probing my ventricles, making grave pronouncements?
To them at some point, and you can rejoin.
And if it's not a flaw, why does it make me feel like shit? How would you characterize the state of our marriage at this very moment?
Our marriage?
Yeah.
I can't think of a word. I'm trying to think of a way to say it's awesome and it sucks all at the same time.
Is there a word for that?
There's gotta be, right?
Well, there's some German word for that, right? There's a word for everything. All the complicated feelings.
Uh-huh. Why are we doing this so late?
What makes it so awesome?
I mean, when you've been married for 8 years, almost 9, together 10, you're my best friend. I get excited to tell you things and annoy the crap out of you. And you still make me really happy in a lot of ways. Even on days when I'm super mad at you, when I find out something, you're the first person I want to tell.
What makes it so sucky?
That you don't want that forever.
Bill's gonna be your nurse when I'm there.
It's astonishing how much harm we do in the name of a greater good.
Little bump here, Bill. I was just curious about that.
Should we check on our children first? Or just do it?
I feel like if we checked on them, they'd
They
realize
need something.
they're not okay.
So as long as they're not screaming, we should just leave them alone. Okay.
Yeah, they're fine.
When we go out there and they're bleeding, I'm going to say, "I told you so." Are you recording that?
Maybe a little.
I've got so many questions on my mind.
I've got so many answers to find.
Can you be the imagined.
Am I magical enough for this to happen?
'Cause I like you.
I like you.
I like you.
I like you.
I like you. And like can lead to like. And like can lead to love. Sure as the stars above, I'd really like to screw you. See you.
Can I be the man you're looking for?
Can I be your girl forevermore?
I'll try real hard not to lose her.
And I'll try to be less of a loser. 'Cause I like you.
I like you.
I like you.
I like you.
I like you. And like can lead to like. And like can lead to love. Sure as the stars above, I'd really like to screw you. Gets you. Screw you. Gets you. Screw you. So we only messed up that a little bit.
So where do we go from here?